This is only a vista for those men and women who will crusade for the total elimination of corruption in Nigerian political system, and to bring the men and women that will come who seek elective office, who said for good governance. I started this battle with the judgment in 2006. It took time. The Attorney General of the Federation intervened and opposed the judgment. It's a federal government judgment that I got a foundation upon which that triggers what is happening today in Nigeria. My case is pending. I had a judgment which the Honorable Distinguished Learned Jurist confirmed in a unanimous decision that Alagaje, a great man who was able to put application that made me to go back to court and serve the Honorable Attorney General that agitated their mind for them to go back and seek this interpretation. I don't take credit for it, but it's a war that we must fight. The issue is people are worried about if the money gets to local government, they will steal it again. The action is for Nigerians to come out like SECAP has come to look at these maggots who occupy public offices that stole our money. We demand for account. I am already doing that in Anambra State. Anambra have not conducted local election for over 20 years. And nobody cares. People are running for governor just to continue in the trajectory of corruption. So it is not only for the National Assembly. We will also talk about restructuring Nigeria. But this threshold of this judgment is like an interim intervention to the means, to the corruption, to the decline in leadership. So I congratulate the men and women of Nigeria. This judgment is not a finality. It starts and triggers the agitation for good government, and the people must make demand on the system. Nigerians don't make demand. We acquire the PhD in the world, acquire the legal profession and doctorate and the rest of them, and sit and look for El Dorado from who? We need crusaders. So this judgment is just an intervention to our corrupt system. So people just say the governor, which governor? All those who have participated in governance from 1999 till then must be brought to book. We must hold them wherever they are to account for our money. This money is to be warehoused because if you don't have a democratically elected local government, you won't have the money. I don't care who else is God. No friend, no foe. The battle is on. Only Wednesday the 17th, my originating summons is before the court. The Supreme Court has spoken. So I don't know what else to say, but Nigerians will take a lead from what I have started and start bringing our elected officials to account. We must make demand. The greatest office is the office of the man who stands up to evil men. It's not to be governor. President Tinubu has created a legacy. I must give him the credit. So, but there is so much work to do. Everybody, including Tinubu, government, we shall all find a way to get everybody to account. How do you develop a country? People are living in Morocco, people are living in Victoria Island, and you tell me, don't worry, you are doing taxation and the rest of them. I'm so sorry, sir. Maybe I'm extending the discussion to an area that I am so aggrieved that Nigerians elite are so laid back. They are all waiting for God to come and intervene.
With the state governments, because despite this judgment, the state governments still wield power over their own independent electoral commission. So do you think that the state government still have there is enough bearing influence on the local government despite the judgment?
Respectfully, sir, I feel we are missing the gist. The gist is that the governors are not from out of space. The governors became governors because under the Nigerian Constitution, they were sponsored by a political party. The governors became what they have become because Nigerians are indolent. We, the people, elected our representatives that will do oversight and make laws for good governance in our state parishes. But because we do not have crusaders, we do not have citizens that understand the conditions necessary for democratic process, we were looking at people who will do the right thing. The only thing that will bring good governance is that the people understand the conditions of democracy. Illiterates do not operate in a democratic setting. We need agitators, we need litigants, we need those who will crusade for causes. We need those who will make money available for those who are ready to fight for freedom. Nigerians do not make demand on the system. I have listened to the conversation. I had a judgment of the Federal High Court in 2006, ensuring my right to become a councillor in Idemili South. That is a right ensured to me by both the African Charter and Nigerian Constitution. I went to court to challenge the government of Christopher Ngige that he has not set the machinery necessary for me to actualize my dream within the confines of Section 8 of the Nigerian Constitution. It was a judgment of a Federal High Court. The Honorable Attorney General of the Federation came from Abuja, fought that case. Glory be to an erudite judge, Alawa, that gave judgment, and that judgment has never been appealed. He even awarded me 5 million naira for the violation of my right to participate in my domestic government. How many people in Anambra State were awake to activate the machinery to enforce their rights? I was paid that 5 million naira. That was the basis that nullified that the members of the parliament have no power to make laws for the appointment of caretaker. This is a very technical area. It's not for all people to talk about. That judgment is alive and well. If you have no power to make laws about caretaker, can you amend and do anything? But Anambra people were busy not looking for good government. They are waiting for angels to perform. This judgment is a judgment of the Federal High Court of Nigeria. It's not a state government. In the face of that judgment, Peter Obi came to power, continued to violate that judgment. His predecessor, the successor came to power, continued to violate that judgment. Professor Chukwu Masolodo is on the same pit violating the judgment. I got agitated. I went back to Federal High Court to activate the machinery of making demand in the system. You don't make demand in your power or by demonstration. You make demand by agitating for good governance. It costs money. It needs legal expertise. You litigate for freedom. That matter is what activated what you see that is happening today. I served the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, and they were woken up that there was a judgment of Federal High Court that has pronounced on what the Supreme Court gave their blessing yesterday. Glory be to Alagwaje. He is erudite. That confirmation there's nothing new that the Supreme Court added other than making some directing orders that federal government should stop giving money to the local governments that were not democratically elected. This is the government. We have to wake up. The citizens have a right. You don't wait for councillors. You don't wait for council to go to court and demand for account. I have gone to court to demand for account from Christopher Ngige, Peter Obi, the past governor of Anambra, and then from Chukwumatu, and all the agents who represented them. This is a landmark case that will be a springboard for people to go back and begin to bring action against all our past governors from 1999. The interpretation given by the Supreme Court is an organic interpretation. You have a right to make a demand on the system. And that is the only way we can take back our communities and the leadership. And then good men will combine to come and give service to the people. It is not a question of dancing around. I'm so sorry, sir.
If Showemi wants to talk about the power of the Supreme Court.
The power of the Supreme Court has been exercised. The judgment is enforceable by any Nigerian in any level of court in Nigeria. It is a judgment that you don't need any further reactivation. All you need to do is you don't even go to court and meet the registrars of court that on basis of this judgment, I want to ask for account. You begin from there.
All right.
Now,
so it's not a question of waiting for counsel. The issue in Nigeria is that democracy requires knowledgeable citizens. Yes, sir. A judgment of a court on the interpretation of the provisions of a statute is not a private property. It can be used by anybody as a foundation to find your rights. So the issue of corruption and this, the political parties in Nigeria are sleeping. The members of the political parties are not interested in activating the machinery for good governance. Tinubu have done what he's doing, but we citizens must participate. Democracy has length, it has breadth, it has depth, it has intellectual, it has litigation, it has all kinds of things to make it work. You must define on which field you will play. Nigerians will wake up, use the judgment of the Supreme Court to demand their right. All these people that have been in power from 1999, this interpretation of the Constitution does not mean it is going to take effect only from today. It is the interpretation of our ground law by the Supreme Authority that has the power to do so. So it's something that can help us to clean up the system. Thank you, sir.
All right. You've had a wonderful conversation, but I want to have final thoughts of each of everyone here. Mr. Just briefly say your final thoughts on this. Briefly, please. We can't hear you, Chipawa. I'm mute. I'm mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
don't touch anything.
I must first of all, with humility, thank your organization and the participants in this program that is very strategic for democratic development of our country. I would thank the Honorable Attorney General and his team, the legal team that put it together. I will also thank myself for bringing it to their attention by my second suit in the Federal High Court in Oka coming up on Wednesday. I thank all the contributors. The judgment of the Supreme Court is a wake-up call for any Nigerian that is interested in good governance. The issue today in Nigeria is that Nigerians feel that the person you elected will deliver good governance to you.